Today another new topic, structural organization in animals. In this topic we can discuss what are the various tissues in animals. In the last class we discussed about the plant tissues. Now today's topic is animal tissues. A group of cells which are similar in origin and function is called as tissue. The study of tissue is called as histology, which is also called as microanatomy. Histology is also called as microanatomy. Right. In animals, first time tissue appears in Nidarians. Right. Now, in animals, like human being, right. In animal body, four major tissues: epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, nervous tissue. Good. Again, it is classified into subgroups divided into appeal subgroups. Like this, our body containing nearly 20-30 tissues, but majorly four groups, classes. Right. Epithelial. Now, first of all, epithelial tissue. Now, simply listen. Right. Epithelial tissue. The tissue which is present free surfaces of the body, either internal or external. Free surface of the body. Like, you must understand, free surface of the body. Right. Now, you see the elementary canal. Yes. For this elementary canal, it is the wall. It is also wall. Now it is a cavity called as lumen. Is it? This wall made with four layers. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 layers. Among these 4 layers, inner layer and outer layer is having free surfaces. This is having the surfaces. It is, what is outer layer? Seosa, muscularis, submucosa, mucosa. Is it? But among these 4 layers, first layer, last layer is having free surfaces. Catch the point? Now this is what is the second layer. This second layer is overlapped by another layer. It is also overlapped. Hence, second and the third layers is having the surfaces but not free. They are covered by surface of other layer. Surface of other layer. Hence, this is the second layer, third layer. They are not having the free surface. Right. Now, among these 4 layers, this is the having the free surfaces. This is also having like this, where the free surfaces is there, epithelium is there. Right. Now come to the epithelial tissue. Characters. Present at all free surfaces. Right. Little intracellular material. Now we are discussing tissue. Tissue means group of cells. Sometimes, now this is also group of cells. Right. Now, right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this 1,000 cells. It is a tissue. But in this tissue, the cells are loosely arranged and form intercellular spaces. Here, they are compact arrangement. In this compact arrangement, there is no gap between two cells. That means generally intercellular space is absent. But a little amount of material. Right. Now this is a fluid. This is the fluid. This fluid is present in the intercellular spaces. This is called as granules. Here, intercellular material is a little amount which helps for attachment. See, it is the one cell, two second cell, third cell, fourth, fifth. How they are arranged? Compact. In this compact, there is no gap between two cells. Hence, there is no intercellular cell. But for the compact arrangement, between two cells, some material is there. That is called as little intracellular material. They are located on the basement membrane. Right. Origin from all general layers, non-vascular. Now, see. Now it is epithelium. Right. Cells. This epithelium is non-vascular. That means blood supply is not there. Blood cannot reach these cells. If the blood cannot reach the cells cannot receive the food and oxygen. But how they can survive? How they can live? Below the cells, below the epithelial cells. Right. A layer is there. This layer is called as basement membrane. This basement membrane is vascular. So the blood is supplied to the basement membrane. That means that growth and survival of epithelial tissues depends on basement membrane. Epithelium without basement membrane, there is no epithelium. Epithelium is non-vascular, hence it is located at basement membrane. Now come to what is this origin? You know, embryonic gastrula. Embryonic gastrula. It is having three layers, three general layers: ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. This epithelium is formed any one of the layers. That means all layers take the responsible to form the epithelial tissue. Right. Now this is the characters. Now come based on the number of rows. Suppose you see the diagram here. Right. Now it is a basement membrane. Right. It is another basement membrane. Now this is the epithelial cells. Now here. Right. If the epithelial cells is arranged in one row on the basement membrane, is called as simple epithelium. If it is the cells of epithelium is arranged in more than two rows, two or more than two rows, it's called as compound. So based on the number of rows, the epithelium is classified into simple and compound. Again simple epithelium is classified into 4 or 5 types based on their structure and function. Now what is simple squamous epithelium? Now see, in this simple squamous epithelium, how is the basement membrane? The cells in this simple epithelium, cells, thin. How much thin means? Right? Now it is the cell. Now what is this? Nucleus. Right. Very much thin. That means nucleus is located on center. Okay. Now it is the one epithelial cell. Is it? It is the what is this? Nucleus. This surface is attached to the basement membrane. The presence of nucleus is formed by that much of thing. See, it is the thin cell. Why here bulge is there? The bulge, where the bulge is, one surface, it is the thin cell. One surface is attached to basement. Now it is a free surface. Right? The free surface of the cell containing some bulge. Where the bulge is there, nucleus lie. That much something. Now, when you see, like I told you, the epithelium is appears wave-like. and it is a polygon. The arrangement like tiles on the floor. Hence, it is also called as pavement epithelium. Right? Now, this epithelium presenting. Right. Blood vessels, alveoli. Blood vessels, alveoli. Right. Now, it is take artery or vein, whatever it is. Blood vessels. Now, this is the 3-layer lumen. Now, it is also containing 3 layers. Outer layer, middle layer, inner layer. Tunica externa, tunica media, tunica interna. This is the names of 3 layers. Among these 3 layers, which is having free surface, tunica externa, tunica media. Right? That means these are the example for epithelium. But among these 2, what is this inner? Right? Tunica interna made with squamous epithelium. But it is also made with epithelium that may be cuboidal or columnar. Right? Why this 2 is made with epithelium? Why not middle layer? The middle layer is having the surface but not free. This is covered by first and third layer. Now it is the 2 layer. Now it is endothelium. Tunica interna is also called as endothelium. The endothelium of blood vessels. Alveoli of lungs is example for simple epithelium. Now these 2 areas, in these 2 areas, the squamous epithelium helps in exchange of gases based on diffusion. That means the simple squamous epithelium which is present in the endothelium of blood vessels, alveoli of lung, right, helps in exchange of gases. Now, simple cuboidal. Now it is a basement membrane. The cells are cube, isodiameter. Length, width and height is same. The nucleus is present. Now hence it is called simple cuboidal epithelium. Right. Why it is called as simple? Single layer. What is this? Basement membrane. Without basement membrane, they will live. Now this simple cuboidal epithelium is presenting ducts of glands and tubular part of nephron. Now we know the nephron. That the anterior part of nephron is containing cup-like structure is called as vermis. Now it is PCT, lobe of Henry. Now it is a PCT. Now this is the tubular part. This tubular part is made with cuboidal epithelium. But especially PCT, right, is a cuboidal with microvilli, brush border cuboidal epithelium. But here only cuboidal. Catch the point. Now, from this part to this part, tubular part. This tubular part is containing PCT, lobe of Henry, DCT. This tubular part is made with which epithelium, right, cuboidal. But the cuboidal which is present in PCT, brush border cuboidal epithelium, because it is containing microvilli, which is helps in absorption. Right. Now what is the next one? Right. Simple columnar. Now it is the basement membrane. The cell's long pillar-like plan. The nucleus is towards the base, not center. Right. What is the shape of the cell? Pillar-like. The pillar in Latin is called as columna. Hence it is called as columnar epithelium. Right. This columnar epithelium is a present inner lining of stomach and intestine. Right. In these 2 areas, the columnar epithelium which is present in stomach and intestine helps in secretion and absorption. Now come to simple ciliated epithelium. Right. Now it is a basement membrane. The cells may be cuboidal or cells may be columnar, but not both. Either cuboidal or columnar. But free surface is absent. But what is this simple cuboidal? See, now it is a basement membrane. It is cuboidal. Right. It is a cell. If it is cell, now what is this plasma? This plasma membrane from exvaginate. Here it is cell. Sorry, it is called as cilia. Now it is microville. The microville. Suppose you take one cell. What is this boundary? This boundary is called as plasma membrane. Right? We are studying animal tissue, not plant tissue. There is no cell wall. Now what is this plasma? See, it is the basement membrane. It is one cell. It is another cell. It is like such. This is the free surface of the cell. That plasma membrane of free surface forms outward projections. This outward projection is called as microville. But here, the plasma membrane does not form it, but they form cilia. This is the difference between ciliated epithelium and brush border epithelium. It is a brush border epithelium. Brush border, who form the brush? Microville. This is the important feature in PCT, proximal convoluted tubule. Now what is ciliated convoluted, which is present in brachiocephalofin tubule. Brachiocephalofin tubule. The ciliated simple columnar epithelium or simple ciliated cuboidal epithelium, which is present in brachiocephalofin tubule. This helps in movement of particles. Now what is this fallopian tubule? In female reproductive system, the fallopian tubule is there. Right. In this fallopian tubule, this simple ciliated columnar epithelium helps in movement of egg. It is in branchiole. It helps in movement of dust particles to outside, but in only one-way beating. Only one direction they can beat. By one-way beating, the particles moves to forward. Right. In fallopian tubule, egg, movement of egg by simple. In branchiole, some dust particles. When you inspire the atmospheric air, through inspired some dust may be enter. That is deposited in the wall of branchiole by the beating of ciliated simple epithelium. In branchiole, they go to the outside. Now probably glandular. Right. Now it is a basement membrane. Basement membrane. Now the cells may be cuboidal or columnar. They always secretion function. Right. This is called as glandular. These gland cells, generally glands are unicellular and multicellular. Right. Unicellular glands is called as goblet cells. Goblet cells. They produce only mucus. Now it is the multicellular glands. You know, pancreas, salivary glands. They are made with glandular epithelium, which produce hormones or enzymes. If it is produce hormones and if it is producing enzymes, is called as exocrines. Right? Suppose you know, right? Salivary gland. What is the level? Gland. Organ. Where the organ is there, tissue is there. Name the tissue. In this organ. Gland. It is now multicellular or unicellular. But either cuboidal or columnar. Cuboidal or columnar. Some intermediate cells. Suppose you know. Now it is a simple cuboidal. Now in between cube cells, yes, they produce mucus. Only one cell is produce mucus, not entire tissue. Mucus secreting cell. Hence it is the glandular function. Hence it is a goblet cell, but unicellular. Now come to the right. Unicellular. Now compound epithelium. Mainly compound epithelium is a mainly protection purpose. Generally, this compound epithelium does not participate in secretions absorption due to the many layers. Main function is protection. Generally, dry surfaces of human body containing like our buccal cavity, pharynx, ducts of salivary gland, pancreatic duct, This is some example where we can see the compound epithelium. Right. Now come to the three types of junctions. Three types of junctions. Junction. Now it is a one cell. It is another cell. This is called a junction. Right. Not only epithelium, in all tissues, either epithelium, connective tissue or muscular tissue or nervous tissue, whatever it will be. Right. We can find out the three types of junctions. Three types of junctions. Tight junction, adhering junction, gap junction. Suppose tight junction, that means there is no gap between two cells. Now it is the tissue. Now there is no gap between the two cells. Such is called tight junction. If it is tight junction is there, right? That is why it is the tight, based on need. Suppose it is one area, in the body, in this body. Some secretions are there. This secretion cannot transport to this. Right? In this between, tight junctions. That means where the tight junction is there, the tight junctions prevent the leakages. Right? Now this is the most important function of tight junction. Now come to I can say later other junction. Now what is this? Gap junction. Gap. See, now it is one area, it is another area. Alright. The molecules are gases, liquids, whatever it may be. It must be transported from this. But between these two, some other tissue. It is A tissue, it is a B tissue, it is a C tissue. Three are tissues. But the secretions which are produced in A, it must be in B. Hence, they require gap junctions. That means gap junctions helps in transport of molecules and transport of gases from one tissue to the other tissue. Now, adhering to strengthen to the areas. The name indicated function. Suppose it is tissue, it is another tissue, or it is organ, it is another organ. A tissue which connects the two tissues, or a tissue which connects the two organs, that is called as connective tissue. The name indicates its function. Right. It is most abundant when compared with other. Epithelial, connective, muscular, nervous system. Among these four, our body containing which tissue is more connective tissue. It is widely distributed. It is not particular in area of the body. It is widely distributed. Now it is a mesodermal origin. Right. You take connective tissue made with three components. Now cells, fibers, matrix. Now this is the cells, a group of cells with space, intercellular space. But this intercellular space is not empty. Now some fluid will be there. This fluid is called as extracellular substance or matrix or ground substance. Right? That means now the cells which are floating in the fluid. Right. In addition to this cell, some thread-like structures, fibers. So fibers, cells are floating in a fluid. That fluid is called as matrix. All together is called as connective tissue. Right. The connective tissue made with three components. Now cells. Now this is the fluid. The fluid is called as ECM, extracellular fluid, or which is also called as matrix, which is also called as ground substance. Now what is this thread-like structure? fibers. Now all these together is called as connective tissue. Now the connective tissue is classified into three types based on nature of matrix and some special characters. Now loose connective tissue, the name indicates loose, densely connective tissue, specialized connective tissue. Right. In the loose connective tissue, cells and fibers are less than the matrix. That means the matrix is more than the matrix, the raw substance is more than the cells and fibers. So if this matrix is more, the cells is loose than. Now come to the areolar tissue and adipose tissue is an example for loose connective tissue. Loose connective tissue. Now areolar tissue. It is present below the skin. Below the skin. It is generally support framework. It is act as a support framework to the epithelium. Right. It contains three types of cells. See now. Areolar tissue is connective tissue or epithelial tissue? Connective tissue. Hence, it is made with how many components? Three components. See now. It is a cell. Alright. Now what is this? Matrix. And what is this? Fiber. Now this is the connective tissue. But in this connective tissue, what is this? Three cells. If the cells again three types. Right. Now areolar tissue. Right. Three types. Fibroblast, macrophages, mast cell. Now it is a macrophages. It is mast cell. It is fibroblast. Right. The macrophages is act as a phagocyte. If any foreign bodies enter in this tissue, that is entered. Now, what is this fibroblast? Which produce fibers. These fibers is two types: collagen fibers and elastin fibers. The collagen is a white color, branch and arranged as a color. Elastin, yellow color, single and isolated. Now what is this? Mast cells. The mast cells produce histamine and heparin. Name three types of cells in areolar tissue: fibroblast, mast cells, right, macrophages. Now, right, what is the function of areolar tissue? Right, it is act as a support framework to the epithelium, which is present below the skin. Now come to the adipose tissue. It is also loose connective tissue. Instead of three types of cells. Right. Now this is the cells of adipose tissue. Good. When in our body, the food is excess. The excess of food is stored as a fat in the cells, which is not used immediately. Hence, the cell function is storage of excess of food, which is not used immediately when according to need taken. Now it is called as adipocyte. Due to this, right, it is central vacuole is there. The peripheral nucleus is there, and food will be stored. Now each cell is called as adipocyte. Due to presence of adipocyte, it is called as adipose tissue. It is subcutaneous tissue. Now come to the densely fibrous tissue. Now, fibroblast, compact and more than the matrix. In loose connective tissue, cells and fibers are few than the matrix. The matrix is more. Here the matrix is less. But who are more? Fibers and fibroblasts are more and compact. This compacting nature, fibers and fibroblasts, this compacting nature due to less matrix. Like in this densely connective tissue, The matrix is less. Due to this, the fibers and fibroblasts become compact. Hence, it is densely connective tissue. Again, densely connective tissue is a two types. Densely regular, densely irregular. Densely regular, densely irregular. Densely regular. The collagen fibers, if they are arranged in rows in parallel, this is called as regular. What is the character of densely regular? Which fibers? Collagen fiber. How they are arranged in rows with parallel or horizontal? Parallel. So, hence, what it is? Tendon. Tendon is example for densely regular connective tissue. The tendon helps in attachment of muscles and bone and muscles attachment by the tendon. That tendon is example for densely regular connection. Now what is ligament? The ligament is the connection between bone to bone, which is also example for densely regular connective tissue. Now densely regular tissue. The collagen fibers are regular scattered. There is no particular arrangement. Hence it is called as densely regular. All protective sheet, pericardium, like this is the internal organs is covered by protective visceral membranes. All visceral membranes is example for densely irregular tissue. Now come to this loose connective tissue, densely connective. Now come to this specialized connective tissue. Why they are called as specialized? Now we can discuss. Now cartilage, bone, blood. This is the three classical examples for specialized connective tissue. Right? Now what it is? Cartilage. Now cartilage. Study of cartilage is called as chondriology. The cells is called as chondriocytes. What it is? Lacunae. It is Latin, but when you translate in English, it is empty place. See, just see. Right. Now, this is the matrix. In the matrix, some empty places is there. This is empty places. This empty places is called as lacunae. In this lacunae, chondriocytes. That means the chondriocytes is not directly floating in the matrix. Right. Cartilage is a tissue. Hence, it must contain cells. The cell is called as chondriocytes. Chondriocytes is present in a specialized area that is called as lacuna. The lacuna is present in the matrix. That means the cell's chondriocytes is not directly floating in matrix. It is not. Hence, it is the specialized. Right. Now, lacuna. The matrix is semi-solid, pliable, which should be flexible. Right. Now, it is in adult, it is the bone. All embryonic skeleton, majority of the embryonic skeleton of vertebrates is cartilage. The embryonic cartilage, 90% of the embryonic cartilage, when it is become adult, ossification is occurred. Right. When you are in mother womb, in early stage, right, your endoskeleton is a cartilage is a pliable. The embryonic endoskeleton of vertebrate majorly is a cartilage. Right. Now from the cartilage is classified into three types: hyaline cartilage, fibrous cartilage, calcified cartilage. The hyaline cartilage is present between sternum and ribs. Right. The ribs is attached to the sternum and form a cage. This attachment between sternum and ribs cartilage. Fibrous cartilage, pubic symphysis, intervertebral disc, and pubic symphysis containing fibrous cartilage. Now come to the bone. The bone is hard due to presence of calcium and collagen fibers in the matrix. The bone is non-pliable. Like cartilage is a pliable, bone is non-pliable. does not show any flexibility. It is hard in nature. The hard nature of the bone due to presence of calcium collagen fibers in its matrix. Now come to the cells of bone, osteocytes. The osteocytes is present in lacunae, but this lacunae is arranged in concentric rings. Concentric rings around the Haversian canal. One Haversian canal and its lamina altogether form the Haversian system. Right. Now, the bone forms the structural framework to the entire body. And also the bones helps in protection of internal soft organs like heart and lungs. Heart and lungs is protected by the rib cage. Rib cage, that is the bone. Right. Weight bearing. The bone being function, it bears the weight. Example, the long bones of legs. These bones of legs, it is bear the total complete weight of the body. And movement. Right. Now, biceps and thigh muscles attached to the bone, right, which is helps in movement. And bone containing bone marrow. This bone marrow is helps in production of RBC. This is the functions of bone. That is next one, muscle cell, muscle tissue, muscle. The muscle. What is the level of muscle? Tissue. That means group of cells. Now, it is a mesodermal organ. The main function is contraction. Now, once again, what is this muscle? The muscle is a tissue. Hence, it is made with cell. A cell of muscle. One cell of muscle is called as muscle fiber. Now it is a cell of muscle. It is called as muscle cell. It is also called as fiber because the cell of muscle is a filamentous cell. It is called as fiber. Okay. Now what is this? Cytoplasm. You know, cytoplasm of muscle cell. Sarcoplasm. It is plasma membrane. Sarcolemma. A specific terminology. But in the cytoplasm of muscle fibers, a many long thread-like structures. The cell is thread, okay? The thread-like cells containing internally many threads. This thread is called as myofibril. Now, if you catch it is a cell, it is cell organelle, right? That's one. See the diagram? No. It is a cell. How it is? Long cylindrical filament. Hence it is called as fiber. According to shape, it is called as fiber. The fiber is the name given to the cell or internal part of the cell. Only cell. Now what is this? Cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is also containing many fibers. So it is now cell organelle or cell organelle. This is called as myofibril. That means many myofibrils are present in muscle fiber. It is the cell, these are the cell organ. The presence of myofibrils is a special feature of muscle fiber. Right? You must catch the difference between muscle fiber, myofiber. It is a cell, it is cell organ. Right? Okay. Many myofibrils are present in one muscle fiber. Hence, it is a cell organ. Right? Now come to it. Right. Based on location, appearance, function. Right. The muscles are classified into three types. Right. Skeletal muscle, smooth muscle, cardiac. Now, skeletal muscle. Fasciculus is fasciculus. Each fasciculus is covered by connective tissue. Sheath is called as fasciae, which is also called as perivascular. Now, what is this total bundle? The bundle is covered by, it is bundle. What is the technical name of bundle? Right. What is this? Fasciculus. Fasciculus. Now bundle is English word. Latin word is fasciculus. Covering is called as fasciae or perimeter. Like another bundle. Now bundle. So it is bundle. It is fascia. Right. Like another bundle. Like this many bundle covered by epimysium, that is called as muscle. Muscle. When you take the needle and just pierce the outer membrane. Now, when you take the muscle, right? When you go to the market, right? Non-vegetarian, a chicken piece or mutton piece, that is muscle. Now it is a piece, that is muscle. Right. When you take a piece of muscle and remove the outermost layer, what is the outermost layer? Epimysium. Now bundles become free. But this bundle, each bundle is covered by perimysium or fascia. When you remove the perimysium, cells become free. Each cell is covered by endomysium. That means 3 layers is there, right? Epimysium, perimysium, endomysium. But in NCERT syllabus, only perimysium is given. That is called as fascia. Right? Now continue. But this knowledge is applicable to connective, which skeletal, because smooth muscles, cardiac muscles, they are not arranged like bundles. They are arranged like layers. It is arranged like bundles. Now, hence, bundle, fascicula, fascia, epimysium, perimysium, endomysium, this is applicable to only skeletal muscle. Now what are the characteristics of skeletal muscle? Right. Why it is called a skeletal muscle? Yes. If the muscles is attached to the bones, hence it is called as skeletal. Right. If you take the skeletal muscle, one skeletal muscle, when you see under electron microscope, one cell of skeletal muscle, myofibrils appears like a stripes. Hence it is called as striped muscles. And each cell is a cylindrical, blunt and branch. But it is a multinucleated. Right. The function. What is the function of skeletal muscle? Any muscle is undergoes contraction. The contraction of skeletal muscle is regulated by brain. That is voluntary. Hence it is called as voluntary. Once again, right. Skeletal muscle attached to the bones. Right. It is a striped muscle. Why it is striped muscle? Right. The myofibrils appears like stripes. Hence it is there. Now, each cell is a cylindrical and branched and containing many nuclei. Right. It is a wall. This is about the skeletal muscles. Now come to the smooth muscles. Right. 1 minute. Smooth muscle. Right. It is skeletal. Why it is called as skeletal? Because it is attached. The smooth muscles is present in the walls of viscera, internal organs, viscera. Hence it is called as visceral muscle. Now, one cell of smooth muscle is a spindle shape, not cylindrical, spindle shape with tapering ends, uninucleated. Now, skeletal muscle is multinucleated. It is the cytoplasm containing myofibrils, but they are zigzag. Hence, when you see under electron microscope, the strips not appear. Hence, it is unstated muscles. unstated muscles. Right. Now come on. The contraction is not under the control of our will. Hence, it is involuntary. Voluntary and involuntary? Voluntary. Shade spending with pointed, uninucleated, where it is found in the viscera. Hence, it is called as viscera. Right. Unstated or stated? Unstated. Now, right. Peristalsis. It is a beautiful. The elementary canal shows the peristalsis. The peristalsis is the contraction of small muscles. The locomotion, movements, it is the contraction of skeleton. Now come to the cardiac. The last one, cardiac. Right. The name indicates the muscles which is present in the wall of heart. It is the only location. Right. Right. Smooth muscles, it may be present in renal gland, kidney, right? Now, intestine, in many regions, but it is present in the wall of heart. Hence, it is called cardiac. Each cardiac muscle is a cylindrical branch, right? Unit, right? Stripes is there, right? But its regulation is involuntary. It is not under control of our willpower. It is involuntary. But one thing it is neighboring cell. It is the branch. The branch of one cardiac cell, it is attached with another cell. The junction between two branches of two cardiac muscle cells is called intercalated disc. Intercalated disc. Due to presence of intercalated disc, right? If one muscle cell receives stimulus, the total cardiac muscles will be undergoes contraction. Right? Now it is one cardiac cell, it is one cardiac cell. Now you give the contraction to this stimulus. If it is received the stimulus passes to the other because junctions is there, intercalated junction. This is a special feature in cardiac muscle. Involuntary, cylindrical, branch, uninucleated, which is present in. But of course, we can discuss at the time of circulatory system movement physiology. Right, but anyway, blood. It is a connective tissue, not muscular tissue. Blood is a connective, which is belongs to the specialized tissue. Now, this blood is containing only two parts: cells and matrix. Any connective tissue, I already said that the connective tissue made with three components. Three components: cells, fibers, and matrix. Right, but blood. Even though the blood is a connective tissue, most important, only blood is fiberless connective tissue. That means it is made with only two components. There is no fibers. Name the connective tissue without fiber. That is the blood. That means the blood is made with cells and matrix. The matrix of blood is called as plasma. The cells of blood is called as formed elements. Formed elements. This formed elements, three types: RBC, WBC, ABC. The plasma, 92% of water, 8% of organic and inorganic gases. Right? RBC, we can discuss it. That's all.